Thank you so much for having me out here this afternoon, folks. And the Open Texas movement, it has, and I've been affiliated with that group here recently, as is Kevin. And a number of folks here have been following what's been going on that page and even on other pages. I think it's something like 52,000 people are a part of that now. So that just goes to show you how strong this movement is to open our economy here in Texas and to keep it open. And it's only going to keep getting stronger. And what I wanted to tell you about today on the subject matter of millennials and how they're going to be affected by this. But keep this in mind, though, as I'm telling you about what's coming and what we're facing, that we've got to stop discriminating amongst businesses. We've got to ensure that all businesses are essential. And we've got to trust the healthy. And that includes for the millennial demographic, which is something like 4 million workers in the Texas economy. And for those of you that are wondering, well, what are millennials and the generation below them, which is Generation Z? So millennials are from college age up to about 40 and comprising about 40 million people in the state of Texas, working in all kinds of industries, hospitality, restaurants, retail. And they're getting hit hard by the recent lockdowns and shutdowns. And prior to these lockdowns and shutdowns, we had about 4 million, many of whom now have been furloughed. Now, how many of those are going to come back? That remains to be seen. And I think a lot of that is dependent upon how fast we get this economy here in Texas completely opened up. And I know that the governor has talked about May 18th being the day that he hopes that all business is going to be open, gyms included, bars included. A lot of young people work in the service industry. Well, it's very important that he sticks to his word on that and that we do get this economy here in Texas completely open by the middle of May. I mean, it should have already been open, and a lot of us are on the same page on that. But the longer this goes on, the greater the economic damage is going to be. And those industries that are deemed non-essential, they have folks that are healthy, ready, and able to work. Not just here in Texas, but across the country, that are folks that are entrepreneurial, creative, innovative, and more resilient than you may realize. And I'm talking about the millennials here. And while there are many jobs that can be done remotely and from home, we've all heard about folks that have been doing their jobs, over the phone and on the internet recently. The reality is that there's a lot of jobs that can't be. And that's why it is so important that this economy be completely open as soon as possible. A limited operating economy, that is going to reduce opportunities for wealth generation, and for many folks, the effects of that are going to be felt for years to come. The picture isn't pretty. You can look it up, do a Google search on it, and you'll pull articles from The Economist, MarketWatch, and other publications where economists are predicting the type of wealth destruction that we're going to see in this country in the years ahead. And we are talking about young people leaving the workforce, reduced incentives to save or even work as a result of widespread income support. And the fact is, it's going to be really difficult for a lot of local and state governments to roll back some of that in the months and years ahead. Once that stuff is put in place, the way it is being rolled out right now, it's going to be that much more difficult for them to roll it back as people are struggling to get back to work. The economic aftermath of all of this, and this is something that I think a lot of folks may not be cognizant of right now, but in years ahead, we're going to see just how apparent it is. But you're going to see delays in family formation amongst the millennial demographic, and that's the reality of it. And studies have shown that historically the impact on societies with aging populations, it's significant when we're dealing with delays in family formation. So that is why it's all the more important that Texans get back to work, that other states get their people back to work, so that this millennial generation can form families, have children. I think you all understand where this is going. And if we continue to have lockdowns and shutdowns in the future, we're hearing now about the governor's phased plan, and some other states have some other, ideas out there on how they're going to get businesses back online. Well, keep this in mind. If all of that is contingent upon there not being flare-ups of COVID-19 in the future, Well, yeah, if there's a second wave, then that means that based on some of these policies that we're hearing about, that governments will continue with lockdowns and restrictions. And so what does that say to a business owner that's trying to make up for all the lost revenue and profit that they experienced in April and May if there's a flare-up in the fall? They're going to have to shut down again? Is that going to make them want to hire more workers in the summer? I mean, think about that. This is bad policy that's coming out of some of our state governments right now. And we need to make sure that they get the point that if we trust the healthy and if we trust Americans, that they know what it takes to be sanitary, clean, and healthy, and to go back to work. If they trust us, we'll get it right, and we'll build this country up. We'll get this economy back roaring strong. The president will be proven to be right about a strong economic recovery coming in the months ahead. But the state governments have got to trust the people. So let us demand here today that our government, federal, state, and local, trust the people, trust the healthy especially, and trust that we know what to do. And that in the years ahead, as we grow stronger as a nation and as we overcome this the way various civilizations have in the past, the way they've overcome pandemics, and we will, let us know that we trusted ourselves here today, that we came out here today to show support for the cause of freedom, of getting our economy strong again, of getting our people back to work. Thank you.